Football fans, how good have Newcastle been this season? Nobody could have expected the Magpies to be doing this well. They sit firmly within the top 4 and are only 9 points behind the league leaders Arsenal at the time of recording. It's been a tremendous start to the year and they have one man in particular to thank. Eddie Howe has come in and saved a sinking ship right at the last minute. So how has he done it? Join us today as we dive deep into the secrets behind Newcastle's sensational season so far, and stick around until the end to see why we think they just might end up getting Champions League football next season. In October 2021, Newcastle were finally taken over after being stuck under the Mike Ashley curse for 14 years. A consortium worth an estimated $320 billion took the reins. Just for context, the second richest owners in the league are the Manchester City owners, and they're only worth $22 billion. The Magpies instantly became the richest club in the world, let alone the league. But the new owners inherited a mismatched squad who were on the brink of relegation. They very quickly realised that if they want to turn it around, they needed a new manager. Steve Bruce was sent to pack his things, and the search for someone new began. Enter Eddie Howe. His appointment was met with a mixed reaction. Many people expected that these stinking rich owners would want to come in and immediately challenge for silverware. Could Howe really be the one to lead them to Champions League glory? Fast forward a year and a half, and the trust in the process has paid off. Newcastle have been immense and have looked unstoppable this season, and we think that there's been 4 key reasons as to why. Here's the secret sauce behind Howe's success so far. Smart recruitment. Like we just said, Newcastle are by far the richest team in the world. Eddie Howe had a blank cheque for his first transfer window. He could have signed any players in the world, and yet he went for Brighton's centre-back Dan Burn. Us football fans were baffled. What was he thinking setting the bar that low? But despite the initial reservations, Burn has proved to be a brilliant signing for the Toon. He signed for his boyhood club for only $13 million and has since gone on to become a dominant force for Newcastle's back line. And Burn also quickly became a dressing room leader, helping to unite a squad who had the lowest morale possible. The Englishman was a bargain really for Eddie Howe, and he's made several smart signings in his 2 transfer windows so far. They added some much needed quality in Sven Botman and Alexander Isak. Matt Targett and Loris Karius came in to improve their depth, and they even weakened teams around them in their relegation fight last season by stealing Chris Wood from Burnley. Could you even imagine Newcastle in a relegation fight now after the start that they've had to this season? It's been smart business from the Toon, even if they haven't splashed out their massive checkbook on the likes of Messi or Ronaldo yet. But with all the money that they have, who knows who they could tempt into the Premier League next. It's not going to be that gold digger Ronaldo though, that's for sure. Constant high standards. Some managers expect big things but then ease off when their team starts playing well, but not Eddie Howe. He's one of the most modest managers in the league, and as much as he refuses to accept praise, he expects the exact same from his players. Newcastle have only lost 1 game this season. Every team except Arsenal has lost at least 2. Even though it's a very respectable record, Howe was still furious when they lost to Liverpool in September. Speaking to the media, he said, "It's not good enough. I want more points. I want to win every game. We know hard work is the key to what happens, and there's plenty to do when you're managing a club this size. There are more points we've left out there, but it's up to us to improve those slight margins." How amazing is that mentality? Howe is a dream manager when it comes to keeping standards high. It's not enough for him just to be winning games. He wants his team to dominate them. And that's a mindset that every single manager should have. How else can you expect to fly up the table like this Newcastle side have done? Improvements to the training ground. While they've taken some huge steps forward on the pitch, Newcastle have made a lot of improvements in practice sessions too. For example, the new owners came in and immediately planned to build a new training ground. They felt that the old facility fell significantly below Premier League and even Championship standards. The Magpies started modernising the group's ground in Benton last summer. They have already added new hydrotherapy plunge pools to help with recovery. New physio rooms have also given doctors more space to treat players. The players' lounge has been massively expanded to give the squad a place to congregate. But the biggest improvement by far has been the new eating area. The Magpies used to have a tiny canteen for a club of their level. They had to sit packed together, only having room for the first team players to eat. But with the new dining room, they can now accommodate the majority of the staff who work on site. That means that the employees are treated completely equal to the players. How cool would it be to be a maintenance guy and get to sit in with the footballers? This has helped to boost team morale, since it made even the most insignificant members of staff feel irreplaceable. And that links with our next point. unbreakable team morale. This is by far Eddie Howe's strongest point when it comes to Newcastle's comeback. Like we said before, when the Saudis took over, the Magpies were a fractured side. The relationship between the team and the Toon Army was non-existent. Fans hated the old owners and booed almost every single game. So when Howe was given the job, he had a monumental job to do in order to unite the team from top to bottom, but he's pulled off a miracle with this Newcastle side. It seems like nothing could stop this group of players. When they beat Leicester to go into the semi-final of the EFL Cup, cameras went behind the scenes into the dressing room after the game. Howe gave a very short speech and left the team to celebrate without overcomplicating things, and we think that everybody must have seen this clip of Dan Burn dancing by now. Spirits are so high in their locker room. Surely, if they all stay that happy, the results will just keep on coming and coming. But there's many factors that go into making a large group of people want to die for you. And a big way that Howe has achieved this is by never putting himself ahead of the team. For example, he won the Premier League Manager of the Month award in November, but before he'd even put his hands on the trophy, he was bigging up his team. He immediately said that he was collecting the award for the squad overall, and he then rallied the entire team of staff and took a photo with the award. Howe was quick to praise everyone, the players, the workers at the training ground, the canteen chefs. He even thanked the interviewer. Speaking to club media, he said, "I'm really pleased with the players, really pleased with the squad, really pleased with the staff, really pleased with you and your questioning, and really pleased with everybody." And we think this is why Newcastle will continue to smash teams and records in the Premier League. Howe took a mismatched squad, signed some clever dressing room leaders, and worked closely with the new owners to unite the city for the first time in years. Even if he isn't the best tactical manager in the league, he has to be one of the best man managers. There's no denying that Newcastle are surely going to keep this form up as long as they stay happy. They're a serious threat within the Premier League now, and we wouldn't be surprised at all to see them finish within the top 4 this season. Do you think Newcastle could get a Champions League spot this season? Let us know down in the comments.